I'm a 17-year-old student that's currently attending their last year of high school. I haven't graduated yet, but I'm already faced with the stress and pressures for what the future has to offer me. Because if I attend university, that would mean I'll be living a majority of my life in debt. And if I attend no sort of post-secondary schooling, the likelihood of me getting a high-paying, secure job will be slim to none. I already have 3 older siblings that have all attended post-secondary educations, and they're all still paying off their debts. At this moment of my life, I'm being forced to choose what I want to do for the rest of my life. At the young age of 17, I'm given the responsibility to choose what career path I want to go in without being exposed to the real world or any real jobs. For the many years that I've been in school, most of the curriculum revolved around useless material that I won't use in my everyday life. For example, I can tell you how to graph sign, but I can't tell you how to do your taxes. I've been in school long enough to see the error of its ways. I've witnessed people with learning disabilities and schools with no help to offer them. My brother suffers from ADHD and dyslexia, and he went his entire school life struggling to keep up with the rest of his class. He was expected to grasp and understand the information at the same rate as every other student in his class. They teach us that we were all different and should express that, but then why don't they teach us like this? The education system that we have in our world today is corrupted in many ways. If you look at everything within society, it has evolved through generations and generations. But when we take a look at our education system, it has remained stagnant through centuries. There are some areas in this world that have evolved, but only in a small area. And this progression should be global, giving everyone the chance at the education that they want and deserve.
This is a classroom of today. And this is a classroom from the 19th century.
The system that we follow today is the same system that we followed in the 18th century. The model that's in place right now is also known as a factory model education system because it was made to prepare students to work in factories. The students have to sit in nice, neat rows and treated all the same, all resembling how it was to work as a factory worker back then. We were all taught in the same way, at the same time, at the same speed, with the same methods and the same lessons, but no two minds are the same. Everyone has their own personal strengths and weaknesses, and everyone expresses their knowledge in different ways. Standardized testing is an example of this because many people don't test well. No matter how hard they study or how well they know the material, their results will always be below average. Around 40 to 60% of the population suffer from test anxiety at some point in their life, while 38% of the population say they always have test anxiety before every single test they have. Those who suffer from test anxiety tend to do poorly on every test because they just tend to overthink or stress out too much and second guess themselves. Frederick J. Kelly is the man that invented standardized testing, but him himself had said that standardized testing are too crude to be used. In previous generations, there were many learning disabilities that weren't yet discovered or acknowledged by the schooling system. Disabilities such as dyslexia, ADHD, and ADD. The schooling system makes people with these learning disabilities feel like they're below average and they need to improve themselves, but in reality, it's the school system that have to improve themselves. Schools provide outdated textbooks and other learning materials to educate their students, this proving that they follow an old-fashioned curriculum. They teach their students with past methods and no attempt to modernize their methods in order to fit how students can portray their understanding better and get the grades that they deserve. The system should be updated and more adapted to the 21st century. It should be designed in a way that can bring out the students' most success. And students shouldn't be judged based upon written standardized tests, but instead should be given the options of hands-on tactical testings or standardized testing. Like I said earlier, every student knows their strengths and weaknesses, so by giving them this option, they can achieve the marks that they truly deserve. If a student has a learning disability, it should be addressed instead of being pushed away. They should be receiving a form of work that they're able to do. There should be certain classes that are made for all sorts of learning types. Schooling should be more focusing on bringing out the students' collaboration, creativity, and intellect instead of forcing out the competition within them. They should be introducing new mandatory courses that will teach students useful life skills, such as managing your personal finance or maintaining a credit score, or even developing an employment, because every country should follow Finland's schooling system, because their system surpasses all other educational systems around the world. They have shorter school days and longer breaks. They have no standardized testing and encourage collaboration instead of competition. They offer free school meals and psychological counseling. They also have individualized guidance and have a very relaxed and stress-free environment with very minimal homework or outside classwork is given. Their schooling system came to be in the late 1970s and continues to update their system that addresses everyone's needs to make their school environment the best for their students and have them to have a successful life. The right to an education was enacted in 135 countries out of 195. This right is considered a basic fundamental right for everyone. So basically what this right is everyone's primary education is free and everything after that has to be paid for. Education should not be something that is bought because it's the basis of our society and everything running it. It's the core of everything, and having a poorly educated generation is like having a virus to our society. Education is make sure that there's a strong foundation in the development of our world. So making people pay for their education shouldn't be something that exists. It shouldn't be able to play a factor of how far you want to go with your education. 23% of high school graduates actually stop their education after high school because they can't afford how much post-secondary education costs. In order to get and maintain a well-paying job that will be able to support you and your future family, you will need more than just a high school diploma. Employers trust people with degrees and diplomas because that will mean that person will have some sort of knowledge in case any situations arise and they have some experience with the job. About 77% of graduates have regrets about their student loans because now they'll be living in debt for a very long time. 75% of people actually get accepted to their top choice post-secondary school, but only 62% can't afford it. This chart is showing how tuition fees have been increasing over the years and are continuously increasing every single year. So one side is showing that just the tuition alone, and this is on average. So those that have more high-paying jobs, like if they're going to law school or to be a doctor or anything, they'll be paying more than this. And on the other side is showing with extra add-on fees like textbooks or like school supplies or just almost every country around the world doesn't offer free post-secondary education. Out of the 195 countries, only 6 offer this. Those countries are Germany, Finland, France, Sweden, Norway, and Slovenia. Giving students free post-secondary education gives them the opportunity to show their best work, bringing out the most success in their life. So this will further help their societal and economical development of the countries that offer their students free post-secondary education. As the world is changing around us, we have become more aware of our surroundings and are able to see more flaws that happen to be there in our everyday lives. So this century should be dedicated on improving our education system in every way possible. As Malcolm X once said, education is a passport to our future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today.